Hello and welcome to the Reel Out Charlotte short spotlight and Q&A. Us come back on screen. As well as Pride season is Carolina's conference. Clothing and essential from two for you to watch. So without any
You good in there? Do you need a water or a wet rag?
No, I'm good, thanks. Actually, I think I'm about to go.
Did I do something wrong?
No, you're fine. It's better I get a move on before it starts raining soon.
Gotcha. I enjoyed having you over. It was fun. Maybe we can do it again, or...
Shit.
What is it?
I didn't think it was gonna get bad this early. Driving the rain always has my anxiety all over the place.
I mean, you don't have to go now. if it helps.
You sure?
Yeah. I'd prefer if you kept me company.
You have any tequila?
I was maybe 14 or 15, still holding on to the closet hinges. And there was this guy that lived across the street from me, and I didn't know him from a can of paint, but for some reason, I was attracted to, I got you, but for some reason, I was attracted to him. Mazel. So yeah, one day my parents saw me staring at old dude while he was mowing the lawn. They decided to set me down for 2 hours after trying to correlate homosexuality to bestiality.
Damn, that's gonna be a lovely story to tell your kids one day.
Oh, but it gets better, my friend. Some of my parents taking a hint, they labeled it as a cry for help. Yeah, and to this day, they're hopeful that I'm gonna find some Isha that's into occasional aid.
Your parents sound truly clueless.
Clueless at its best. I mean, they would give Cher a run for her money. What about you? You got any traumatic coming out stories? Your parents worth the therapy bills?
I'm worth recounting right now. Maybe there's another time again.
Ah, there's already a possibility of another time?
We got through 2020. Anything's possible.
Yeah, I'ma smoke a little something till I feel something.
So, what type of guys do you usually go for?
I usually go for gents with your similar vibe.
Like?
I mean, you know, guys more on the masculine side of the spectrum. You know, he gotta be tall. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as he's taller than 5'4". You know, goes to the gym, is fashionable, a free spirit. You know, kind of like Posh Spice and Scary Spice, but in a male form.
So, no fats, no thims. Gay dudes would be so proud.
Firstly, I'm Jewish. And I got love for my femme dudes too.
You're in the okay.
And I'm probably nothing like dudes you usually hook up with.
Well, you're not wrong.
Wow. I must be special.
Maybe, but honestly, I don't succumb to any generalized types. I'm more aligned with fluidity and going with whatever feels right in that moment.
Sounds liberating. So, would you say you do this often or?
Is that translation for my slut?
Not at all. I honestly think slut shaming should be abolished.
See, I don't know about all that.
You care to elaborate? This is a judgment-free zone. Remember?
I don't know. It's something about going out and catching some dick or going to slang something that doesn't sit right with my spirit. But to answer your previous question, I do partake in occasional hookups.
Okay, see, now it gets interesting. So, answer me this. What's the difference between you and someone who likes to have sex often? Because, you know, at the end of the day, sex is just sex.
Sex is sex. That's part of the problem. The only reason you're saying that is because of how accessible sex is these days.
Yo, that's straight up bullshit. I mean, sex has always been accessible. The only difference now is people are tired of acting prude about it. You know, as they should. You know, we should be able to bust a nut in peace.
Okay, but think about it. Hooking up has become as easy as catching an Uber. How you want it, where you want it, when you want it.
You're a point.
Besides not always encouraging safe sex, it's shriveled its value down. Hookup culture has basically left us scraping for intimacy.
But who says sex has to always have value? Or has ever had value?
There's value when engaging with your partner.
I mean, yeah, but it's completely different than like when you're having sex with someone you love compared to, you know, a quick late night session. You know, it's all about what you take from it. Like everything else.
can agree with that. Overall, I think I'm just super cautious about protecting my own oral energy and not absorbing shit from niggas that don't deserve me.
So, what set me apart to make you come all the way out here?
Seriously? Besides your username being Chanel number 69, you had some substance to you. Wasn't too pushy. Didn't give me a bunch of one-word answers. And your eyes.
What about my eyes?
They look like ones you can trust.
How do they look now?
Damn, it's still going?
Don't you got somewhere to be?
Home the hell? I'll be in bed right now, curled up my pillow.
Well, at least you're in good hands. You know, unlike myself, I got an appointment in the morning.
You good?
Yeah, I just gotta pick up my prescription for prep. Or undetectable, right?
Yeah.
Got you. Sorry. That must suck.
No need to be, it's simply my reality.
Yeah, my bad. Shit. Sometimes I don't know if I'm saying the correct thing. Right, so how long have you been?
I'd actually prefer we stop talking about it.
Got you. Right. So, well, what do you have planned for tomorrow?
It's getting super late, so I'm gotta get.
But it's still raining hard.
I'll be fine.
But did I say something wrong?
No, it's not your fault.
So, then, what is it?
Nigga, why are you so invested?
Look, I was just trying to spark conversation.
My condition is some general conversational piece to be exploited for the sake of silence.
Yo, look, I'm sorry, I didn't think asking would cause this type of reaction.
Do you got some weird ass kink for being overtly nice and microanalyzing strangers?
No.
Or even better, maybe you're a fetishizing bug chaser.
Yo, of course not.
Okay, then why'd you hit me up in the first place? Let me stay over. You made it quite clear that you love a quick fuck.
Yo, stop! About 2 months ago, I was engaged to marry my ex-partner. We were set to have a ceremony in the Poconos during the winter, working towards purchasing our first home together, and considering when was the right time for both of us to expand what would have been our families.
What are you getting at?
I'm now 25 years old, and at that moment I felt as if I was settling into the rest of my life. You know, like becoming one of those secondary queer couples in a suburban sitcom, you know, like Cookie Cutter. And just following heteronormative roles in the American dream. I was really already compromising myself so easily and so willingly. It all just felt claustrophobic. You know, like to a point where I had to ask myself, what do I truly want? I'm saying all of this to say I chose freedom. And when I saw you online, you felt like that freedom I've been trying to get back to.
3 years.
What?
I've been positive for 3 years. Though I do have it listed on my profile, it's really the first time I've ever spoke on it. You know, I've just been having it bottled up inside of me, trying to overcome it, but it's really just an ongoing journey. Funny thing is, it's not really something I'm ashamed of. It's just comes with a lot of memories, like a lot of pain, anger, unanswered questions.
It may not mean much, but I'm proud of you.
Stop, you're gonna make me cry tonight.
Nah, bro. This story matters. Let me not hold you up. I remember you were in a rush to get out of here, so let me not bother you with all this trauma dumping.
Right. Well, would you mind if I stayed?
Of course. Yeah, just one condition, and don't get mad at me. But, remind me your name?
Well, today's Easter Sunday, and it's my and Gypsy's anniversary, 16 years. So we had a couple little whatevers, but, about her, was what about anything, and she'd been in a cage all right. She'd never been on ground before. My other dogs was different than that. And she's been everything that's kept me going since this accident. I fell in '97. The accident I had, I was doing an art exhibit. I went to step off scaffolding. They was doing the art show based on my house. All that clutter meant all that, and the paintings and what have you, meant all that to produce that circumstance. It's called a cozy cottage. It's what it was installed as, and that's how I felt. And 14 foot. And broke about everything I had. Anyway, from hospital to hospital, and they diagnosed me finally. I fell on June 20th of '97 at about 8 that evening, and I thought I had broke my back. I was awake, and after I hit the ground, and knocked my teeth out. But I developed a neurological disease called RSD, and which they're still working with, and I have seizures, from it, and other than me being as stubborn, as I was, during all that, I was just determined that nothing wasn't going to change nothing for me, and of course, the stubborner I was, I guess the worse it probably was for me, but I had the diabetes that had to be dealt with, and otherwise it was going to be what was dealing with me. I was born in the mountains of North Carolina. Good Lord, Thanksgiving morning. And I grew up there. My mom gave me to my grandmother to raise, and any and all the pictures, which I have many of, but she was one that was always holding me. Her or Elsie. I don't have any of my mom holding me. You know, I was the second to the oldest, and my mama had 4. She carried full term that either was born dead or died, you know, and so actually there would have been 8 of us, but my dad claimed I was my uncle's. So there I was the one that was the problem. Daddy was, you know, was schizophrenic, paranoid, and he was alcoholic. So if you didn't take it, you got it otherwise. Anyway, my whole life went through that because he never accepted me. Till just before he died, you know, but you know, and I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. I loved him. You know, I called him Daddy. Because it was early fall, and, you know, I turned 3 in November. Daddy, he never come about at all, you know, and he did take me and leave me, you know, and I remember that. He carried me down below the house, you know, and Granny did, down below Granny's there, and anyway, and me and Granny sat and held me, and picked Tommy toes and put them in her apron that was pulled up, you know, and so Daddy left. Never came back. You know, and I went from making like, you know, 12 or 13, $17 a week, curb hopping, rain, ice, or what, didn't matter. The person that came by there was a friend that I went to school with, which was a couple years older than me. You know, well, maybe 3 years older than me, but, you know, because at that point, I was probably in the 8th or 9th grade, you know, and he come by the drive-in there and wanted to know if I would maybe want to go out for, you know, riding around. Well, I didn't know what riding around was. So where we ended up going was what they called a gay bar. And I didn't know what that meant. I mean, I had no idea. And he took me the second time, which was when I met Paul. He was just standing up against the door frame, you know, and he had sent somebody to tell me that he wanted to meet me, which I didn't know what any of that stuff meant. He wanted picking me up and me coming down here. Anyway, me and Granny talked about it, and Granny told me, she said, why don't you just go and see, you know, and, you know, she said, if you like it down there or not, you know, and there's a painting hanging in there in the dining room that she gave me, handed me then, and was crying, you know, and handed me that painting. And she looked at Paul, and she said, you better take care of him. She said he likes pretty things, you know, and you know, I cried the whole way here, I know, but everything was James and Paul, or Paul and James. There was no just James or just Paul, and that's why everybody knew us. It was never said, well, they're gay, you know, or that kind of label. See, a lot of things during my earlier relationship, say with Paul, you know, my parents didn't ever question anything. I don't know if they just didn't want to or they just didn't. And I didn't have anything I had to say. You know, hey, open your eyes is my point of view. They had differences in thinking and letting whoever become who they are, you know, as opposed to just taking it away, you know, and that's the problem with people is, you know, you can't take away who somebody is because that somebody is going to still be there after you've even done all that, you know, and so Same with me and Paul. You know, I mean, he tried to control me and not let me do. You, no, I couldn't be this, couldn't do that, whatever. Anyway, I did anyway. And so it pushed him away. You know, because his theory was I was going to become who I was and leave him. Which that's not what it was about, you know. Graduating from high school or going to college and that type of stuff. That's not what that was about. When I split up with Paul, you know, or basically decided I couldn't live with him, you know, I never loved anybody else. You know, and of course Paul died, he committed suicide. He never got himself settled down or whatever, I don't know. You know, and stuff like the trees, like the Japanese maples, you know, the ones in the front and ones back here, you know, was from year to year, it was a commemorative thing that we did, always done for our anniversary. And so I continued planting them, you know, after he was gone, you know, and, well, I still do, but he died in 1992, you know, and so I just kept on with what I can, and what I can, I get somebody to try to help me, but, you know, a lot of times that just don't work. I mean, it's like I've been here, all the years he wasn't here, look how big they got anyway, you know, and how beautiful they are, so it's a little scent to him, and because I loved him. Never was anybody else. Never will be. Our lives as we live them change things, and but that doesn't necessarily have to be, because you know, as long as you keep in your heart what was, you know, it can always be, because they say nothing lasts forever, but that's just not true, because it does. Yeah, I think so.
फिर से डांटा क्या हो?
पूरा साल ही बेकार है, पता नहीं कब खत्म होगा।
साल को गाली क्यों देती है? नौकरी छोड़ना।
फिर करेगी क्या? तेरे साथ आके यहाँ पे सब्जी बेचूंगी।
तुम्हें पैसा चाहिए तो
नहीं।
बोल ना।
मैंने पहले ही बहुत कुछ किया है मेरी।
हट पगली। मैं क्या बोलती हूँ, कल मेरा बर्थडे है, पूरी दिन मस्ती करेंगे कल। चलना।
मैं सेठ को बोलूँगी क्या?
बोलना बीमार है, फिर भी कुछ बोला तो बोल, लेडीज प्रॉब्लम चालू है। फिर मानेगा वो। पहले पाव भाजी खाती, बाद में अंडा भुर्जी, उसके बाद समोसा चाट और पानी पूरी।
पागल हो गई है तू? जन्मदिन मनाना है कि मैयत का प्लान है?
कभी कभी चलता है रे।
कभी कभी। वो पिछले इतवार केक खाया यही केक है, और उससे पहले ईद पे सेवैया भी। ऐसा ही करेगी तो ज्यादा दिन नहीं जिएगी तू।
तीच आहे ना रजिया? मागे एकदा घरी भेटलेली.
सादी है।
अगं तीच ती साधी आहे. तुमचं अजून ते चालूच आहे का ते महिला मंडळाचं काम? मागे एकदा बोलली होती तू.
हाँ तेच ते, जरा काम होतं म्हणूनच आलेली.
हे बरं आहे तुझं, घरदार सोडायचं आणि समाज कल्याण करत बसायचं.
बोल आता काय बोलायला आलायस ते.
आहे पिंकीला आठवण काढतो तुझी. उद्या तुझा बर्थडे ना, म्हणली एकत्रच साजरा करू.
अरे उद्या मी फुल बिझी आहे, फुल बिझी.
कुणासोबत?
कुणासोबत काय, बाप्पा सोबत. उद्या दिवसभर देवामोर
अयो.
बसून राहणार आहे.
तू कधीपासून देवाच्या नादाला लागली?
आहे काय उद्यापासून. अरे आता वय झालं माझं, कधी नंबर लागेल काय ठाव नाही. तेव्हा आता थोडं देवाधर्माला लागलेलं बरं. हॅलो.
आई कुठे आहेस तू?
अरे देवळात.
देवळात? कुठल्या?
तुला सांगितलं होतं की सिद्धिविनायकाच्या.
ट्रॅफिक आहे का तिकडं?
अरे जरा खायला बाहेर आले होते ना.
मला वाटलं आज उपवास असेल तुझा.
अरे उपवासच आहे माझा. साबुदाणा वडा खाती. मला हॅपी बर्थडे बोलणार आहे का नुसतं करोडपती करोडपती खेळणार आहे?
हा हॅपी बर्थडे.
थँक्यू. आता बघ देवळात संध्याकाळची वेळ झाली आरतीची, मी देवळात जाते. तू भेटू नंतर. चल ठेव. हा
ठीक आहे.
तू ढूंढ रही थी मैं तेरे को.
चलाती है.
कितना लेके?
तेरे लिए ये सब एकदम फ्री.
हे तुझं महिला मंडळाचं काम आहे का? हा? अगं माझ्या बायकोला आणि पोरीला काय वाटेल? त्यांनी काय आदर्श घ्यायचा तुझ्याकडनं? सांग ना. हे सगळं कळल्यावर ते काय विचार करतील तुझ्याबद्दल? तरी म्हणत होतो माझं लग्न होताना तू पण लग्न करून घे, नॉर्मल आहे, या वयात लग्न होतात, पण नाही. ती कोण बाई आहे? तिच्या घरी माहिती का हे सगळं? तिला काही लेकरं बाळ आहेत का? का तिनंच तुला नादाला लावलं ह्या? ऐक, काय आता?
काय आता?
काय करायचं आता?
तू बघ.
मी बघ म्हणजे? मी काय बघू? तू काय करायचं सोडलंस आता? हा? ही अशी अशी करायची होती म्हणून आज एकटायचं होतं ना तुला?
एवढी डायलॉगबाजी करण्याची काही गरज नाहीये. खूप ऐकून घेतलं आयुष्यभर. आता पास झालं. सगळं ऐकून घेतलं तुझ्या चित्त्या बापाकडनं. अक्कल नव्हती. पण आता नाही. आता मी नाही ऐकायची ना तुझं ना कोणाचंही. मला मला ती आवडते आणि तिला
झोप. आई आई पण
साधी साधी
आई 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 सावकाश.
इसको तो सब मजाक ही लगता है. कल कितना बोली मैं आइसक्रीम मत खा
तुला किती वेळ सांगितलंय बाई कंट्रोल कर
मी किती वेळा सांगितलंय होत नहीं
ओ झांसी की रानी यहाँ पे हमको लड्डू नहीं मिलते तेरे को बोलने के हम तेरे लिए ही बोलते हैं
और क्या लेकिन नहीं इसको सीधा बोलोगे ना हमेशा उल्टा ही करेगी पहले से प्रॉब्लम है इसका
भलाई का तो ख्याल रखना चाहिए ना
मेरे तो जवानी बाल सफेद हो गए समझाते
2 दिन की जिंदगी आज है तो कल नहीं हाँ? हाँ लेकिन अब तुम दोनों बोल रहे हो तो मैं जरूर सोचेगी करेगी कोशिश तू जा आता घरी रात्रभर झोपला नाहीयेस जरा घरी जाऊन आराम कर जा और तू भी जा हाँ?
नहीं मैं रुकती हूँ
कल काम की खोटी हुई है आज भी खोट हो जाएगी तो सेठ निकाल देगा तुझे
नहीं निकालेगा मैं
तू,
रुकती हूँ
जा।
ना
अरे मंगेश छोड़ देगा तुझे
मैं रुकती हूँ
वो उसी बाजू जा रहा
कोई
है
प्रॉब्लम नहीं है मैं क्या कह रही हूँ मैं बोल
रास्ते
रही हूँ
में
ना,
ही
मैं
पड़ेगा
रुकती
उसको हाय रे
हूँ। नहीं
हाँ
मैं रुकती हूँ ना क्या
अरे तू जा उसके साथ
मैं-
तू छोड़ देगा
मैं रुक
चालेल
रही
ना हाँ?
हाँ
जा।
ले लेना यहाँ से करती हूँ मैं दोपहर को फोन
दरवाजा जोर से बंद कर दो
This must be it.
So freaking cute. But where? It's chilly.
Well, it is Maine in October.
I might need to buy a hoodie somewhere. Or this will just have to warm me up.
Can you not be so obvious?
We're adults. We're gonna drink on vacation. You don't think anyone loosens up inside these cottages? Looks like a little village. Think it's a cult.
Probably.
Were there other ones available?
There were a few, but none of them were really
No, it's
open.
good. It's good. It's a good choice. It's small, but it's good.
Home sweet home.
Here, let's take a pic.
Excuse me. This is private property.
Oh, hi.
Hello. We're staying here tonight.
This one, number 3.
Yeah, the owner's name is Ed.
That's not the owner's name. That's her caretaker.
Oh, we booked it through him.
I didn't know she still rents this out. You might be the first in a long time.
Oh, really? That's surprising.
She must need money. I haven't seen her in years. I don't know why she hasn't sold it. I own one down there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's so peaceful out here.
Did she or Ed tell you about the bed? She had 2 of them long ago, but I hope they got rid of that one.
Yeah, there's just one bed in the pictures. We only need one. So.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'll get out of your hair and be careful. You'll basically have the whole place to yourselves. Water shuts off on Monday.
Oh, wow, so it really just shuts down.
Yep, end of season. Probably just you and the animals.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
This runners of the seas.
Spooky. Do you think she was thrown off at all that we're together, or that we only need one bed?
I think she was thrown off that she saw other humans on Earth.
Yep. Oh my god.
Oh my god. We're never leaving.
Oh yeah. Wow, this is so perfect.
It's like a house for gay hobbits. It's so cute.
I don't know why the owner wouldn't rent this out more. She'd make a killing.
Yeah.
Oh, hey look, there are 2 beds.
Hmm? Do not use broken. Creepy. I could just remove it.
I mean, that woman said she hoped one of the beds was gone, right? Maybe they just had an accident or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably in the house rules. I didn't read the email yet.
Yeah, me neither. I guess we just won't touch it when we go to the bathroom. Weird bed aside, I love it.
Yay! Me too. And we won't need it anyway, unless you're in time now. Anyway, cheers.
Already?
My God, Mom, give me a break. Take a sip and let's go. I'm starving.
Okay, yeah, let's go explore.
Vacation land. Oh, it's good stuff. Oh my God, you're such a baby. Come on, are you ready? For real? Oh my God, come on. Let's go. Okay. So what, now you're not talking to me?
Nothing to say.
Wow, what a great girlfriend.
I am a great girlfriend. I don't have to flirt with every person I see.
You think you're so much better than me. Then why are we even still together?
Oh my God, Naomi, I'm going to bed.
Okay, bye. I'm sleeping here tonight.
No, you're not. We're sleeping in this bed together. You're not allowed on that one.
I'm not getting in that bed, Michelle. You've made it clear you don't love me.
Naomi, stop. Okay? Drink this and get up. You're gonna break it.
So now you're calling me fat, too? Leave me alone, Michelle.
Okay, yeah, the rules from the owner do say please stay off the twin/single bed. Naomi, it's not safe.
Relax, Michelle. Good night.
Well, I have to brush my teeth, so you're not done with me just yet. Is our toiletry bag still in the car?
No idea.
Well, I have to brush my teeth, as do you. So I guess I'll go get it.
Thanks, Mom.
You are so childish! Just like your parents said. Are you gonna let me in so I can get ready for bed? I'm so not interested in this game. Oh, come on. Whatever. Naomi! What the hell? Grow up. No part of this is funny. You told me to leave you alone, so that's what I'm doing. Good night. Is this your way of apologizing?
Okay, in 3, 2, Shelley here at this normally peaceful seasonal community on Route 1 that has now become a shocking crime scene overnight. A woman in her 20s murdered by her girlfriend in this cottage where they were supposed to enjoy a weekend getaway. Police say they received a call from a driver who saw the assailant, Naomi.
I knew this would happen. I knew it. Those girls should never have stayed there. It's bad.
Can you repeat that? Tell us your name and what you saw.
Ben Carpenter was killed here. You remember the story from years ago? Killed him on that bed in self-defense. But he's still inside.
You think the place is cursed?
Yeah, yes, cursed. I feel it when I walk by. She should be held accountable. Are there 2 beds?
Who should be held accountable?
The owner. She should not be renting this place out. This is a dangerous house. Those poor girls. I feel terrible. He made her do it.
So you think the killer...
Is the bed still in there? Entities latch on to things.
Oh, we should cut.
All right, welcome back everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's Reel Out Charlotte short spotlight. Now, we don't need to sit with Lupe and I any longer. We're gonna be joined by 3 incredible filmmakers to tell us about their process, what work they've done, and maybe what's next too. So without any further ado, our tech extraordinaire Matt is going to bring on our 3 friends. Okay, sorry, I can't see the screen to ourselves. Welcome everybody, we're so glad to have you. So I think, Lupe, you want to kick us off with what we want to hear?
Sure, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here. I do want to go ahead and start with asking you to take a moment to introduce yourselves and also tell us about your film. What is the name of your film? And that would be a great introduction. Thank you. In any order, by the way.
I'll go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, sorry. So I'm Mark J. Parker, and I made Twin, the last film you just saw.
Wonderful, thank you.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what brought you to make Twin, and kind of a little bit of your story?
Sure. So I love horror, as you might be able to tell. You just saw Scary Stories. So I'm a gay filmmaker. I've loved horror since I was a kid, which many, queer people, LGBTQ love horror as well. There's a lot to identify with, running from obstacles and trying to survive, that whole thing. So this is my 3rd professional short film. My 2nd with out queer characters, which I definitely want to continue making more horror, thriller, suspense shorts with, the LGBTQ community at the forefront. I think that's a really cool way to marry 2 communities that are very important to me. So you'll see more gay horror in my future.
Fantastic. I am one of those super horror queer film fans, so I look forward to seeing much more from you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
All right, Toriano, do you want to go next?
Oh, Toriano, I think you're on mute right now. Oh, not yet.
Still can't hear you.
We're gonna try something over here.
Okay, well let's hop over to Lucy, and then we'll see if we can get Toriano's sound back.
Hi, can you hear me
We can.
at all? Oh, okay. I'm Lucy, and I did the short documentary on James. He was a neighbor of mine ever since I've lived here for 22 years. And yeah.
Fantastic. So what made you want to focus a story on James? Tell us a little bit about how you decided to make a documentary on your neighbor.
Well, it's kind of funny. Everyone who lives in this neighborhood knew James. In some way, he'd either given them a plant, or they'd seen him walking his dog, Gypsy, or he loved to talk to people. Sorry, I'm getting the past tense. And everyone knew him, and so it was kind of one of those where it's everyone knew little stories about him. It was kind of funny because everyone had a different thing they knew about James. And so it was kind of, let's get it all on film and see if we can put something together.
Cute. Nice.
Wonderful. Let's see, Toriano, can we go ahead and shift to you? Are you there and can you hear us? Oh, I can't hear you still.
Can you try maybe a different audio setting? Maybe use headphones or not use headphones? The worlds of Zoom. No matter how long we're in this pandemic, it still seems like we're gonna have tech issues.
So sorry about that, but maybe I can probably fill it and say Toriano Lockhart is the director, actor, writer for, oh wait, I just,
Generation
I can
T.
hear myself, so I'm distracted, my apologies. But yeah, for Generation T. So they did that work, and we're happy that you submitted, and it was a great film to watch, and thank you so much.
Yeah, sorry that you aren't able to hear from Toriano, and if you hear any stuttering from Lupe or I, we are hearing an echo in our ears, and I don't think hearing ourselves is something anybody wants to do. But while we let Toriano try maybe leaving the room, coming back in, we'll go ahead and move on over to some other questions. So Lupe, you want to ask about other things?
I sure do. Actually, going along with the theme, what was your biggest challenge that you had in making this film?
And go ahead, Emily. We'll let you answer that one first.
Lucy.
Yes. Sorry, Lucy.
It's okay. The biggest challenge probably, oof. We actually had I guess the biggest challenge was COVID. So I don't know if you noticed, but my entire crew was my family. So my dad did Mike, and then I had my mom on one of the cameras, and then my sister did all the music because I couldn't really, I mean, it just wasn't a safe time to find anyone, and also with James and his health was bad. We didn't really want to risk bringing anyone on who could possibly infect anyone, but that was probably the biggest thing. I mean, his death wasn't a challenge in the filmmaking process, but it was definitely a challenge for just everything afterwards, I guess. Like, editing was harder just because it was hard to look through the footage and be like, he's dead and he's gone, and it was a mess. And but luckily that was the only blessing, I guess, was we were able to get so much footage of him, and there's still so much that I wanted to do little short videos of other stuff because there was just so much I couldn't put in there. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad that your family kind of filled in those extra tasks that needed to be done, and they did very well. Of course, the sound was great, and the video was great. Everything was pretty good. I say everybody did a good job on that. Thank you. Also, for Mark, we have the same question. What were your challenges in shooting?
Yeah, well, the biggest one was COVID, because we shot this almost a whole year ago. It was like the very end of October, one of the last few days. So, you know, we were very much dealing with COVID pre, vaccines. So, making sure everyone was tested and wearing their masks. And we were in a very tiny cottage with a very tiny cast and crew, but still enough bodies that we were in close contact with each other. So that was a major worry, a major obstacle, but everyone was really great and took it seriously. So I'd say that's the biggest issue. And then my second biggest issue was just time. We did this in one day in 10 hours in the rain with COVID. So, it was just a lot going on, a lot of literal running around. But, that's indie filmmaking. So not too bad.
Were you guys going to shoot rain or shine, or was the rain a good added element for your setting?
We were gonna shoot rain or shine, like that was the shoot day, and luckily the rain, the spritzing was pretty cool. It added a good effect, in the end. But being there, getting wet, and then like just going through the edit with my editor and like hearing that rain on the road, I was just like, ah. But in the end, I'm totally happy with it. It's a nice gloomy late October creepy day, so it all worked out. But yeah, the place got very messy and wet and muddy, and it was a horror movie, so there you go.
Nice. All right, Toriano, were we able to bring you in? We can see you. I don't know if we can hear you still. Oh, okay. Well, I think unfortunately we're gonna have to say goodnight to our friend Toriano. Looks like audio is not coming in. He did, oh, I like this. Toriano has dropped a response to that question in the chat. So we'll tell you what he said so that folks can still hear a little bit about his process and what has gone on with him. So he said that a major obstacle in making this film in less than 9 hours in just an Airbnb, but he had a really supportive team who helped get the project done and make things go as smooth as it could. That was actually going to be one of my questions, was where did you film it? So that's funny that you rented an Airbnb for only a few hours to put together the production. In Mooresville. Oh, nice.
So is it going to be one of those locations that people are going to try to visit, like those the horror houses in Amityville? They become popular once it gets out there and everybody's aware of it. It's going to be a destination.
It might be. It might. All right. Well, tell us now, and we'll go to Mark first. What were some of your favorite parts of the filmmaking process?
Oh yeah, wow. Well, luckily there are many, but I would say I really lucked out with a great cast and crew. They were all local. I live in Maine, and we shot in southern Maine in a town called York. Very close, right on the edge of York, and a very gay town called Ogunquit in Maine. So definitely check it out. All LGBTQ people are welcomed in Ogunquit. So yeah, I lucked out with a great, really solid cast and crew of local New Englanders that were not only knew the material really well, but brought really great energy to the project, which isn't always a given. There's sometimes just people that you don't mesh with that well, but everyone was so great. Our DP, Ian, who shot really beautiful footage in such a tiny space, I mean, he was running around helping me with timing, and it was just a really great group. So I'm super thankful. That was a really great memory of doing it. And I think also with any film, but especially this one, how we came up with some fun ideas, kind of just that just came about in real time. For example, in the last scene during the big shocking kind of twist. Well, I can hear myself now. Of how one of the people in the couple, one of the girlfriends, now is possessed by this evil spirit. It was my DP's idea. It was Ian's idea to turn the lights on and off, to really make it seem like this evil spirit is making everything go haywire. So that wasn't even my idea, and I loved it, and I loved the way it looked. So I would say those two things were really great things that I loved during the making of this.
Very cool. Toriano, I see some different headphones. Can we hear you now? Oh, sadly still not. Okay. Well, Toriano, drop your answer to that question about your favorite parts of the filmmaking process into the chat while we hear a little bit from Lucy about her favorite parts of creating James.
My favorite part was just getting to know him better. I had never really known him as well as my parents did. And it was really funny because James thought the documentary was going to be about his dog. So when we got there to set it up, he was not prepared to answer any questions. And actually, when we first started asking questions, he was like, "No, I'm not going to answer any of these." And we were like, "Oh, okay, well, this changes everything." But he opened up really fast, and I think that was the best part, was sitting down with him and him. It seemed like a lot of this, he was always telling stories to people, like he wanted to get it off his chest almost. And so I think that was one of the best parts, was he got a little emotional in some of the stories, and it just seemed kind of like a good experience for both parties.
Great. Awesome. And then I see in the chat here, Toriano has shared that one of his favorite parts was the writing process, because he really wanted to focus on creating a concise story that involved two men. So I think everybody really created unique environments where everyone felt special, and it felt like you were able to get to know this haunted little Airbnb, this neighbor that we all have known in our lives, or these people whose stories are just an essential part of our LGBTQ community's fabric, and talking through different stigma and pieces of who we are. So I think last question that we want to hear a little bit from is, what can we expect from y'all next? So I think we'll start with Lucy and hear what projects are coming up, and Toriano, if you want to get started typing and let us know for you what's next, as well as how folks can find each of you online to follow your work.
Right now I'm just looking for work, honestly. I just graduated a few months ago, and so it was kind of, this was one of my projects I was working on when I was graduating. And so I definitely am trying to find something else to do, but also to start making money. But I'm on YouTube, and I'm also on LinkedIn, if anyone's interested, but that's about it. Yeah.
That's a great plug.
Awesome. And Mark, what's next for you?
Yeah, so my other recent queer horror film, Family History, just ended a year of festivals. This film, Twin, we're just kind of starting. But so Family History will be available to watch very soon on some various websites. I'm submitting to a couple, online distributors. So hopefully, maybe even the end of this month, you'll see it somewhere. But you can definitely follow me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Those are the big ones. But it's MJPPOV, the name of my company. So you can definitely see any updates there. But I definitely have some other horror ideas that I will hopefully be shooting one in the next month, a little fun horror fan film, at least, to put on YouTube. So you'll see some new stuff soon.
Fantastic.
Wow, and I do have to lean in for this one. Toriano does advise that currently they are working on 2 short film projects. One is a dramedy involving an assassin couple, wow, that finds themselves in a sticky situation during an ongoing mission. Wow, that's, I look forward to that one already.
Yeah.
Wow, and then, we do have the Instagram plug, at fka.dolphic. I hope that's what I see right there.
Yes.
My eyes are straining, you guys. I apologize. And then actually for Toriano, I just want to say that while watching your film, I was vibing with the music just a little bit. I did take some Shazams and I'm adding them to my playlist. So that'll be playing in the car tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us and bearing with us through our tech fun moments. We really appreciated all of you being a part of Reel Out Charlotte and our Q&A this evening. Look forward to seeing future films from all of y'all, especially this Assassin film from you, Toriano. So please make sure y'all send those in the future. And for those of you watching at home, thank y'all for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time, and make sure you tune in for the last 2 pieces of Charlotte Pride season next weekend. And with that, have a great night.